Imagine a girl weeping by the river. Her hair has become thick green ivy, rooting her permanently into the mud. Across the forest, her sister stands in the middle of a dazzling palace. This massive gap in their lives looks like the work of an unpredictable curse. In reality, these two outcomes grew from the small, deliberate choices they made every day. Every household is a fragile ecosystem. When one person injects continuous selfishness into that environment, they eventually build a trap that they cannot escape. At the start, the sisters lived in a small cottage. Mangita worked long hours at their father's fruit shop, while Lina spent her time by the river, brushing her hair and admiring her own reflection. The dynamic shifted when their father left on an irreversible journey. His absence created an authority vacuum, forcing the sisters to manage their own behavior without a parent to enforce the rules. Lina used this freedom to sabotage her sister's efforts. She tracked dirt across freshly cleaned carpets and poured ice water into the hot soup Mangita had spent all morning preparing. Lina's failures provide a blueprint for what we call the sibling guide. The first step is to prevent unnecessary burdens. This means choosing not to create extra work for someone who is already carrying the weight of the household. The second rule involves acknowledging effort. Peace in a home requires recognizing the chores someone else completes, rather than mocking them for doing the work you avoided. Finally, survival in a difficult time depends on sharing the load. When resources or energy are low, a household only stays upright if everyone contributes. Lina ignored all three rules. By prioritizing her own comfort over her sister's health, she broke the foundation of their home. The sisters were eventually tested by the arrival of an unsteady stranger, a sick old woman wandering through the forest. When the woman asked for food, Lina handed her a handful of bitter, unripe wild strawberries. She lied to the woman, telling her they were the most delicious fruit in the world. Mangita took a different path. She brought the sick woman inside, gave her a bed, and spent her time brewing hot, healing soups. Lina's cruelty intensified during the woman's recovery. While her sister worked, Lina secretly poured dirt into the old woman's herbal tea. After days of performing every chore and caregiving task alone, Mangita finally collapsed. She fell dangerously ill from sheer exhaustion. The old woman had left a special gift of magical blueberries for Mangita to use if she ever got sick. However, Lina ate the berries herself, leaving her sister to suffer without help. True empathy is rarely proven in a moment of convenience. It is only visible when a person is forced to choose between their own desires and the survival of someone else. We can map these choices to understand why the sisters' lives diverged so sharply. In the empathy matrix, perception means spotting struggles. Mangita saw need, Lina a nuisance. Quality of effort is addressing actual needs, unlike Lina's unripe berries. Sacrifice means prioritizing another's recovery over your appetite. Empathy demands concrete action. The old woman eventually revealed her true form. She was a powerful fairy who had been testing the sisters' hearts all along. She turned her wand on Lina, transforming the girl's hair into thick ivy that rooted her to the ground. This was the physical result of Lina's vanity. She was now trapped by the river she refused to leave. The fairy healed Mangita instantly and transformed their cottage into a dazzling palace as a reward for her kindness. Then came the turning point. Mangita rejected the palace. She told the fairy that a life of immense wealth would be empty if she had to live it without her sister. The fairy moved the sisters back to their humble cottage and restored Lina's hair. Faced with a sacrifice she didn't deserve, Lina finally chose to change her ways. Mangita's refusal to leave her sister behind provided a path out of their cycle of resentment. Her sacrifice achieved what months of arguing never could. You can apply these lessons to your own home by following a simple 3-step protocol. First, erase the scoreboard by cleaning messes silently to remove tension. Second, disarm with service. Unexpected acts break down defensiveness. Third, share your blueberries by giving your best to others. Prioritizing someone else's well-being is the only way to build lasting shared happiness.